The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.tv.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlicker Elverkel. Fantastic run by Julia Love.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV. Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Stop Ulti TV تلمه eroginkime Ultimate Vendromena. Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love frisbee. Just do it.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member of Ulti.tv.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe. Ulti.tv, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
With thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
we work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and new stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Hello and welcome back to the action at Field 1 here at the University of Limerick. World Masters Ultimate Club Championship enter their fourth day of games. We have a power pool game in the Grandmasters mixed division. 2 teams going to battle it out here at the pitch. It's Endless Sunset from the US taking on Max Power from Canada. Behind the mic today, just for you, Rachel Doshnerova together with
Bjorn Shea.
Hi Bjorn. Did you watch the last game?
Yeah, I did. It was a great one versus Amsterdam and Frisbeurs. And Frisbeurs, behind a excellent zone, made a great comeback against Amsterdam.
We have plenty of action this week happening for you for free on the YouTube channel of the WFDF. Please tune in and do engage with us in the comments. We love to see some banter, fun facts, greetings from everyone watching at home in the comment section. It seems like Endless will start on defense, and a big gender pull lands just on the near sideline. Here's Chan finding Welsh. Welsh to the middle to Lou. And a wobble in the end zone will be saved by Katie Fizzell. And Fizzell with a first score and a cleaned hold for Endless.
Yeah, that looks like I was talking about it last game, but this day is kind of like an epiphany for all the players, because all the breaks that were getting smashed and popped up and destroyed in the wind the past few days, they're now all there. So anything these great players, great experienced players can think of, they can actually do. So it's nice to see them liberated.
It is true. I think we've had a good start of it last night during the 5 o'clock time slot, where finally we saw the deep shots connecting and the players with lots of extra energy coming from the fact that they are finally able to execute all the cool plays that they have been preparing. So just like you said, all the break throws, all the deep shots, we will get to enjoy a lot more of that, and I think that will also shift the momentum for a lot of these teams coming slowly into bracket. Here's a forehand pull, hangs nicely all the way to the end zone. And Endless center the disc. Here's a big wind up from Wheaton. It hangs all the way into the end zone, and an easy score. That was Ryan Plant with the score for Endless Sunset, and the US respond with a quick O point of their own.
Yeah, great shot there from Wheaton. Really confident in the ability again. That was a break huck, but just confident that he can step through and actually have control of this disc. A pretty Ryan Plant looks like a strong, tall receiver. Probably going to be a good target for the rest of this game.
Endless Sunset finishing third in the Pool A, one of the two pools that the Grandmasters division started out with. They were seeded fifth seed initially. Oh, hello. We're saying hi from behind the mic. Nice to meet you. This is what we look like. But I believe you're more interested in what we sound like and in the action on the field. Both the game advisors and the teams signal readiness to receive the pull.
And that was Wheaton again with the pull, and clearly a powerful arm behind him.
We also see a violation hand signal from the players on the field. I am not sure what. I think I see somebody counting the players on the field, so it seems like there is a suspicion that there might be an extra one.
An endless amount of players on the field.
Honestly, it can happen easily when you have to think about the gender ratio. Sometimes you think so hard that you want to make sure you have enough people that you just sneak in.
Yeah, especially if one gender is only counting themselves, one gender might only count, oh, okay, we have 4 women, we're good. And then the other gender counts, okay, we have 4 men, we're good. And only thinking up to that amount, and I'm not sure what happened.
So I think it was the right amount of players, but there will just be a repull because the hand signals and sort of the confusion on the field caused Max Power to stop playing.
Well, that'll just make sure everybody's nice and warmed up.
Let's try that one more time. I think it's even a better pull than the last one, all the way into the opposite end zone, received by Max Power. And here is a big, quick turnover in the last third. Endless now with only a few meters to go, but here's a low release backhand and a foul will be called on the throw.
Looks like an immediate no contest. Pretty clear that the Max Power defender, Chris Welsh, knocked him on the top of the hand.
And Wheaton puts the disc back into play. Thinks about, oh, nice low release left hand, offhand, backhand. And he's gonna go for the up line, try to go through the break side, and here's a high release backhand that will be defended by the mark. Excellent effort by the hands of Wong. Playing on the team with her husband. Here is Denton. Goes to Long. Long to the far sideline. Denton has it again and puts up a big backhand into the end zone. He has a wide open receiver, and that is Chris Welsh for the score for Max Power. Welsh actually based in London right now, but has had previous master's experience with Canada at WUBC 2011, 15, and 17. So a beach player, apparently.
That's great. And it looks like his hometown was in Ontario, so he's a true blue Canadian, just enjoying the Queen's homeland. But so going back to what we were talking about with these calmer conditions and how more things are possible, I know there was a turnover, but that you saw that throw by Wheaton, that nice lefty backhand air bounce that he was able to use as a dump. That's something that nobody was able to do the past couple of days. So something that, you know, these nice throws, these nice little throws that everybody practices that were just completely thrown out the window the past few days. So it's nice to see the toolbox open back up for everybody.
And also, I believe that will make it just a little more entertaining for everyone at home to be able to enjoy a bit more variety, both on the throws and the tactics.
Right. Really appreciate what these players are capable of.
I believe that's Cauley preparing to pull. He's gonna put up another one of those floaty forehands. Smith picks up for the Americans. Goes immediately to Adams. Adams centers the disc, but gets the disc again on the sideline. He's throwing big fakes.
And Smith goes by Tex. She lives in Austin, and her little sister is my best friend.
Aww.
So if you're watching back in Austin, hello, we love you.
And a little bit of contact in the traffic. A bump on the mark will not be called. The players from North America well used to a slightly increased level of physicality as compared to the European teams and as featured on our stream.
It's the Wild West out there in North America.
Toma now on the sideline. He'll be looking for his resets. Here's a nice up line. Great high grab by Pearson. Sorry, that was Smith. And Smith into the end zone for her teammate. A nice girl point. That was Jackie Herr for the score. And another offensive hold for Endless.
Yeah, 3 impressive bits of ultimate right there. The first, the high grab up the line. Then the nice flat put out to space. And then the incredible rundown by the receiver. So Jackie Herr showing that she has got some legs to get down on those discs.
This is how you do it, kids. Jackie Herr is a teacher, currently based in Tremont, Played for Illinois State University, and club experience includes Steamboat and Sure Shot, as well as UPA.
The team name UPA was a joke. The USA Ultimate used to be called the Ultimate Players Association. So the UPA named, when the name change happened, the Masters team UPA formed just as an homage to the old name.
Here is the received pull by the Canadians. Chan working with Denton. The Americans sticking with match D. There's a nice upline gainer to Harnett. He centers back to Denton. All the way to Wong. Wong to the middle to Long. Long goes for the quick give and go. And the Canadian offense moving steady. Fizel looking for options. She'll put up a big backhand, but just out of reach of Long. It wasn't a bad look, but this time I think the wind carried the disc a tiny bit further than anticipated.
Yeah, well, these are definitely calmer conditions. They are by no means completely placid. The wind is moving definitely to the right of the screen for the watchers at home, and slightly towards the near sideline. So look for things to carry a little bit more to the right.
Good defensive pressure by Max Power to get the disc back right in front of the end zone. They will now set up for the end zone play. Chan picks up. We'll be looking to the break side. Fenders are close, and here's a nice high release pop backhand to the front line. That is Fizel with the score. Fizel, sorry.
That was a good job of ISOing for the front of the stack so that no one else can help. And Chan did a good job of using his shoulders to create the break by swinging the arm over and sealing out the mark. And Fizel is from Kingston, Ontario, which is just outside of Toronto. And she is an online course instructor and project coordinator with Queen's University, who is has one of the best ultimate programs in Canada.
And we would like to say hi to her husband, Miles, and her daughters, Cassidy and Holly. We really hope you're watching. Please do come join us in the comments of the YouTube section. So far, we've been joined by Steve, who says Chris Welsh hasn't played Ultimate since World Beach in 2017. Still annoyingly good.
He certainly is.
Here's another forehand pull for Endless. This time the Canadians come out in a zone. Nice break by Shipek. Endless try to swing it around, but are clearly not afraid of crashing the first cup either. Shipek has it again, goes for the big gainer to Sham. Sham through the first cup, but that was just a bit too far. Of course, Cauley getting in the way. And Max Power go the other way. We'll have Thompson work together with Cauley. And now Smith has it on the far sideline. Looks like a bit of a force middle force. Here's a big forehand. Lots of players underneath, but it will be Endless Sunset who come down with it.
Yeah, they look like it might have been a big play in the air at least, but it seemed to drop very quickly those last 10 feet in the air.
Here is Brazelton. Manages to get off the dump. Here's a nice forehand break. quick movement now down the field, and here's a big put into the end zone. It's hanging. Can they get there? Yes, they can. That is Ty Stevens with the score for Endless. 46 years of age, out of Minneapolis, currently living in Asheville. He's a marketing consultant, but also a power machine in the end zone. He is now playing with his son, which is his career highlight. He played in nationals as well, and he loves traveling and playing in different places.
Yeah, he's still got some young legs on him. Getting down the field quickly and showing he can get up just for the heck of it.
He says his son is also his ultimate sporting hero. He started when he was 12, and now he will be captaining his college team. Lovely.
That's great.
So the game is staying tight. Maybe you would be interested to know that Max Power finished second in their Pool B, right behind Surly Grandmasters Mixed, who are currently topping, who topped that pool and are now second, I believe, in the Power Pool. And Max Power were initially seeded 9th. Oh, and now a great heads-up D by Endless. More specifically, Crane Bill.
Yeah, it looked like Chan really got the step on his defender, but Kreinbill with a heads-up play, sticking his paw into the passing lane and busting up the give and go.
Pearson will pick up for Endless. He's a power machine and a player to watch out for. He is a stats leader, and he proved so immediately. And that is double happiness for Kreinbill.
Yeah, great to see his hard work pay off. Kreinbill from Normal, Illinois, and is a data analyst. And he has 4 boys at home, 15 to 10. Drew, Beckett, Grayson, and Wyatt. Hey, boys, I hope you guys are watching. Your dad's doing great.
So like I said, Pearson, the stats leader for this Endless Sunset team. He has 2 goals and 8 assists, and he's obviously adding some more to his impressive record. Another one to watch out for would be number 20, Pennington, with 6 goals and 5 assists, equally impressive. So that's the first break of the game. Endless Sunset go up over Max Power.
Oh, I guess it's true. Yeah, the first score we've seen to our left, which is the technically into the wind side, even though it's not as significant as the past few days, it still played a role. I'd say it was 75% downwind the last game I watched, and so I'd imagine it'd be maybe a little less than 75%, but pretty close in this game as well. So yeah, that's not an insignificant score into the wind.
And here's Max Power with the first pass to G. She resets to Cauley. A low grab from Smith. Long on the sideline, looking for a reset. She doesn't have Smith, but she will find G. A pick goal, however, will stop the play and returns the disc to the hands of Long. Stall count is rising, but they get off the reset. That's slowed. High disc, but so much space for Prue to get that disc. She resets it immediately.
Somehow it dropped in time for Prue.
Cauley to Smith. Smith now in the middle, thinking about pass into the end zone. Prue goes with a lefty backhand and will come down with the disc in the end zone. Great scar. Prue very active in that point for Max Power.
And Max Power answers very well after the break. So nobody's hanging their heads. Nobody's thinking about what just happened. They're thinking about what's next and marching down the field with confidence and, no hesitation.
I feel like with some of these games that I have been able to watch on the stream so far, it seemed like a lot of the times when a team suffered a break, they immediately suffered another one.
Yeah, the scores came in clumps.
I think maybe the reason why a break was a bigger problem in the earlier games were the conditions, like we said. And for those of you who are tuning in into our stream for the first time, just to give you a clear idea of what the conditions can be like in Limerick, it is about a 5-minute walk from my house to the paddocks, where they serve actually the best food, and the service is really nice. I want to give a little shout out to them as well. Thank you for taking care of us all week. It's only a 5-minute walk, so you're leaving the house with lots of sunshine, thinking, oh, finally I can have my nice 5 minutes of sunshine in the morning. And of course, by the time you make the first 10 steps, it's pouring rain.
Yeah. You can kind of see the clouds in this country. You can see them off in the distance, and there's always one cloud raining in the sky. You don't know where it is. You don't know when it's coming for you, but there's one out there. And we see a low throw from Endless Sunset into the turf, giving Max Power a chance for a break.
They have a wide open Lou downfield. And they put up a big backhand. There was an open receiver, but it needed a little more concentration on that throw. I understand the D-line being quite trigger happy. Chen saw their opportunity, wanted to be aggressive, tried to get a quick break on the Americans, but unfortunately the disc sails out of bounds.
Yeah, Chen is a very aggressive player from what we've seen so far. Always going for the give and go, and always trying to get in power position.
He was introduced to Ultimate by his cousin back in his early 20s. He's now been playing for about 20 years, but only 10 competitively. Here is another high disc by Endless. And this time it will be Denton who will pick up for Max Power.
And a second break opportunity. Let's see if Max Power can be a little more conservative this time.
Chen clears for the upline, struggling to get open, not making enough space for the other handlers. He gets the disc behind. Here's a nice pass to the break side. That was Ketchison, who goes to Lou. Lou waiting for the upline. She gets it eventually from Fizel. Another nice upline from Denton. And here's a pass into the end zone. Great stuff, great break. That was Bonnie Ketchison with the score for Max Power. 44 years of age. She's a lefty. Her career highlight was in Boracay. And we should look out for her left-handed backhand, scoober, and right-handed flick.
All right.
She can do it all.
Have you been to Boracay, Rachel?
I have not, but I do follow Tim Morrill so closely that it feels like I have almost been there already.
All right. I'm sure he appreciates that.
I am sure he is appreciated by many people around here, also at this championship. Of course, Tim Morrill running his years-long program of MPFTP. I hope I said that abbreviation right. Functional PT. No. Performance training. Anyway, shout out to Tim Morrill, who has been helping athletes prepare for events like this for years and years, and I am sure there's many of them, and maybe some of them on this field as well. A forehand pull. We're back where we started, because Max Power are able to regain the break almost immediately. And Endless now working through their zone, and here is a slow lefty backhand tapped off by Lote, who picks up the disc now and passes it to Smith. Smith with a low backhand. A nice layout attempt by Prue.
One short backhand deserves another, and now we're back where we started again. Endless Sunset working it down the field.
Rebecca Smith crashes the cup, and Endless can go around. Here's a big gainer, and a big backhand into the end zone. That is James Zimmerman with the score for Endless. Very lucky. Max Power were just an inch away from another break.
I think Ryan, this is a pretty good zone, but some of the players for Endless Summer are just moving so much faster than the cup and the short deeps that that the zone was not going to be effective, especially with this wind when you can just throw it out to space, and someone like Ryan Plant, who clearly has tons of speed, can just run under it and then have an open throw on the next one.
Zone can be a powerful, powerful tool for mixed teams, but they really need to make sure they're 100% in sync and also very adjustable and adaptable to the other team. Because once the opposing team figures out where the mismatches are created, then it's kind of easy to look for those options.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I'm not used to playing co-ed so much, and I don't know how many zone points I've ever actually played in co-ed. But yeah, I can see what you're saying, that just by virtue of the fact that there's a mixed gender out there, you're gonna have interesting situations like that. In the last game, Amsterdam Ultimate Club was never really able to figure that out, and that's why Frisboers were ever have a pretty decent comeback that fell short.
Welsh now has the disc for Max Power. He's looking for the break side. There isn't much for the reset. He might have to chuck it. He goes for the hammer, which is an excellent option because he's got the tall frame of Scott Harnett in the end zone. And I've been waiting for Harnett to do something cool in the end zone because since he did not put any information about himself, I'm just going to call him Josh Harnett's brother. I realize there is a T missing in his last name, but it will only allow me to continue on my pound because guess who's on the other team? Ryan Reynolds.
Who's more your type, Josh Hartnett or Ryan Reynolds?
The 16-year-old myself will say Josh. The 30-year-old me will probably say Ryan. But in fairness, Ryan Reynolds from Endless Sunsets did not give us any facts either. So I took the liberty of just finding some on the internet for you. Turns out he's a Canadian-American actor and producer. He was married to Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, good for him.
Who would have known? And now he is with Blake Lively. In the meantime, the teams on the field go into a timeout, and we're going to take a little breather and leave you with a word from our sponsors.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back after the timeout to the Power Pool Mixed Masters game between Endless Sunset from the US and Max Power from Canada. Both sides have some celebrity faces featured on their roster. We do have Ryan Reynolds on Endless Sunset, and we do have Scott Harnett, which is actually the brother of Josh Hartnett. And thank you for tuning in on the WFDF YouTube channel. Please, if you do want to interact with us in the comments, make sure to hit the subscribe button, which will allow you to join the discussion and enjoy some more fun with us commentators, because we do check the comments regularly. Back to the action on the field. We have Endless on offense. We're technically back on serve here with one break each for both teams. Here is a huge put into the end zone, and it is perfect. I don't think the receiver didn't even have to get down on his knees. I think that was Ryan Plant.
Yeah, there's Plant again, who looks like definitely the premier downfield athlete for Endless Sunset, and that was Wheaton, who is probably the best thrower we've seen so far from that same team with the toss. Wheaton on that point had a beautiful break across the field to make the defense get a little tired, and then as they came back across the field. A big killer blade to the open, speedy plant.
Wheaton, with 52 years of age, could actually be eligible for the Great Grandmasters division.
And I see he's from San Antonio like myself. I might have to talk to him about the Spurs. Go Spurs, go.
So far a tight game. No surprises. One exciting break on each side just to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we expect out of these experienced North American teams, to be good, solid competition. So it's nice to see that it's living up to that.
Wong passes to Wong. It is
Ty Stevens took a hit there in the stack, but he looks all right, and no bad blood there. Everybody's playing on.
Long now has the disc in the middle. Finds Fizel. Fizel with a big backhand into the end zone. The defense can't get there, and that's an easy score for the Canadians.
I'm sure Josh is happy for his brother with the who gets the score. And Fizel is looking like a killer out there with those throws. She's both speedy and accurate with her passes.
Agreed. We'll see that on the replay again. Exactly the right spin to go around the outstretched arm of the defender. And Harnett with an easy score.
Yeah, I see a lot of people really comfortable throwing that edge with a flick. You see a lot of sharp outside ins with that at that pace with a flick, but not enough with a backhand. The little backhand, the bladey backhand, when thrown accurately, can be just as deadly. So it's nice to see someone use it effectively.
So we finally get some more engagement in the comments. Thank you so much. Turbo Nerd, shout out from New Zealand. I hope that's what NZ stands for this time.
I'm
really
sure.
hoping I'm not making some other geographical mistakes. We've made so many. But just to keep you entertained, here is Endless Sunset with the receive. Zimmerman finds the reset.
Look, yeah, clearly a zone.
The nice gainer down the line. Zimmerman now working with Toma almost all the way to the end zone, and they just need one more pass, two more passes actually, and a quick dish to the front of the end zone. An easy score for Sunset.
And that was Wheaton again with that initial throw to completely leave the zone behind. Once you get behind a zone like that, it's off to the races. So it's really about that first throw. And he put it right past the cup, and then you're playing basically like a 5-on-2. Five offensive players versus 2 defensive players, and it's just impossible to stop.
We saw the quick give and go action. That was Emily Shelton with the assist, and potentially Zimmerman with the score. I believe Max Power are trying to close or shut down Endless on the near sideline, here close to our cameras, but somehow the Canadians always manage to find their way through. And in order to improve that and to maybe clean up some of the slight mistakes on defense that were causing Endless to be able to come through that zone so easily, the teams take a timeout, and we will take a little breather in the commentator booth ourselves.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate TV.
Welcome back after the timeout. We are in Power Pool Games. This is a Grandmasters mixed pool game between Endless Sunset from the US taking on Max Power from Canada. We are in what we like to call here in Europe, Bjorn, the Galaxy Point.
Oh, actually, because a galaxy is just a subset of the universe.
Is it? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, do you know what galaxy we live in?
Sure, yeah, our galaxy.
Yeah, well, it's not your galaxy, it's our galaxy, but it's called the Milky Way.
And we are on our Milky Way to the Canadian end zone. Dexton passes it to Chan. Chan goes to Smith in the middle. Smith with a big forehand, but that one had a little too much custard on it. And out of reach of Welsh.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad look, just a little long, and that's the direction that the wind is going to push things to. Again, down to your right and down towards the camera.
That's all right, because there's nothing more exciting than a galaxy point with some turnovers. Here's a high disc. Smith will get there first. Makes sure that Harris can get underneath. And Max Power with about half a field to go. That is Denton picking up on the sideline. The Canadians sticking with a horizontal setup. And here is a nice downwind forehand, and despite the defensive pressure, it will be Marianne Long with the score, and Max Power take the half.
That was great. A really tight window there with John Pearson coming over, trying to poach the lane, but it's all he could do. There was really no way for him to get to that disc without going through the receiver, so he had to pull up short and try to make the late bid, and it just wasn't possible. So amazing throw there by Denton.
Way to finish strong in the first half by Max Power. Long, we're going to finish up with a shout out to her. 54 years of age, started playing in 1991, is a right-handed offensive cutter. We should look for her in-cuts and long strikes, which is exactly what we saw in the last point. She's a teacher, one of the few teachers on this Canadian team. She's played for Bingo and Chill, She the North, and the Canadian Beach Ultimate team in Portugal 2017. She's been captaining various teams and coaching at her school. So shout out to Marianne Long, who with the last score of this half will take us to half. You have a few minutes to rest. We will be back after a few minutes.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back to the second half of exciting action here at Pitch 1, University of Limerick World Masters Ultimate Club Championship. We are in power pole for the mixed Great Masters division. Endless Sunset from the USA taking on Max Power Canada, who took the first half in a pretty calm, easy fashion, I would say. My name is Rachel Doshnurova, and I'm joined by the lovely Bjorn Shea. Bjorn, can you summarize the first half for us?
Yeah, mostly on serve. I think just a one break apiece. And
then Max Power, I think the last point of the first half was a break as well.
Okay, yeah, so maybe 2 breaks to 1, and not a lot of turnovers, some pretty clean points. We see a lot of experienced players who know how to throw, and with these calmer conditions, just some beautiful throws coming out of their hands.
It seems like the teams are quite ready and eager to see what the second half brings them, just like hopefully you are. And of course, as I say that, I hear the rain clicking on the top of our commentator tent. We will see how long these nice ultimate conditions can last. And it seems like Max Power will come out in match D. And here is a nice break. Oh, there was a really nice disc that was brought down by number 8. Kreinbill, that's right. I am struggling with the pronunciation there a tiny bit. But unfortunately, the continuation was just out of reach of the intended receiver. Lots of defensive pressure. And I think from Max Power, it was a good move to switch to match D, as in the first half, the zone hasn't been generating enough turns for their D-line. Now they have a good chance to use the turnover they forced. They swing the disc sideways. Keep moving up the line. Smith with a slight overthrow, but it will be brought down by Lou. Now another slight miscommunication. Cauley now has the disc.
It looks like the Max Power female receiver ducked in order for Cauley to get it, even though she could have caught it easily.
Cauley puts up a huge forehand that goes over the head of everyone. And it is Julie G who reads it perfectly, very much aware of where the wind is coming from and where the disc will land. And she collects it over a huddle of players. Incredible effort and incredible start of the second half for Max Power. Great energy, great aggressiveness, and a bit of luck. Let's have a look at that again. It's hanging. It's hanging. 4 players underneath from both teams. And here is G with the score.
Yeah, we saw after mostly great deep shots in the first half, we saw a couple goofy ones on that point, but I think the players might just be feeling out the wind as it picks back up again.
Bjorn, it seems like we've been talking about Ryan Reynolds on this Endless Sunset team. Seems like he's not here. He's in the chat. He says, let's go Endless Sunset.
Well, he's probably filming a movie somewhere.
He is. He's probably busy, yeah. Or Blake had one of her tantrums or something. Here's Endless with another chance on offense. They collect the disc in the middle of their own end zone. Here's Wheaton going to side to Smith. Wheaton has it again. Goes with the low release backhand to the forehand side. Smith with an errant throw. Gives the disc to Max. And Max wastes no time. Put up a huge scoober, was it, Bjorn?
Yeah, I believe it was. And Wheaton read it perfectly. Able to get a paw on it. A gloved mitt.
Good heads-up awareness. And this is a huge flick. Almost a half-field gainer. And great collection by Sunset. Smith now stuck on the sideline. She has Wheaton in the back. She gets it off to him. Wheaton back to Smith. Goes for the up line, doesn't take it. They'll find Toma. Toma centers to Harris. And here's Smith with a big forehand into the end zone. And it will be the 2 receivers from Endless Sunset to come down with it. An important hold for Endless.
Yeah, it's the pretty much the same thing that happened last time with Max Power. The receivers in the back on the break side just read it a little better and able to be patient, let it come over the defenders' heads, and make the catch. So an important hold there for Endless Summer, because that would have been a 3-goal lead, which would be started to get out of control with how easily these teams are scoring.
So Endless now pulling on the shorter end of the string. But they have broken Max Power before. And now actually have sort of a good chance, even though if you do eventually have get a glimpse of the flags on the opposite side of the field, you will see that the left side of the flags is blowing to the right side of the flags is blowing to the left. So
it's a forced middle on the flag.
Good luck figuring that out.
I think that building is causing like a bit of a swirl. At the other end of the field, there's another set of flags, and I think they're all pretty uniform in blowing away and to the
right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, right side of the screen and towards you.
And here's a high disc that floats out of bounds. No, it doesn't. It is collected by Max Power. I was hindered in my view a little bit. And here's a high disc. Smith will come down with it. He has a striking deep receiver from G, but he will go for the upline to Lou.
That's a great job by Smith. He's been really athletic downfield, but has made a couple mistakes with his eager forehand. So good for him to get it back to a thrower who makes the correct throw for the score.
Incredible vision from Lou. She goes directly to Cauley. He sees him striking deep and takes that easy shot. Well, easy enough if you can see it and execute it, but makes it look easy anyway for everyone. And she goes for the score. Let's see that again. She's examining the options. And I believe this is the moment where she sees that cut developing. She goes over the top of everyone with the so-called American break. I don't think anyone else besides me calls it the American break, but I've heard it somewhere. It's sort of, it's a forehand that starts on the open side but curves to the break side.
Interesting. Well, the past three scores going into this wind have all been that so-called American break. Every single one has gone over the head of the defender, landed on the landed on the break side. So I guess this is a very North American game.
Gareth Cauley, 41 years old, 6 feet and 2 inches, whatever that is in centimeters. Has only been playing for 14 years, though, out of Toronto. He's a teacher as well. He's played for Max Power, Best Before, and Boracay Dragons. He's played in over 15 international tournaments, and his fans at home are family, friends, and students. The Americans go the other way and put up a huge backhand ripper all the way into the end zone. The defensive pressure, I don't think, was the reason for that wobble on the catch. Great job getting open by Lisa Marin, but unfortunately unable to hold on to the disc.
Yeah, she did a good job tracking that down, and another really aggressive throw by Wheaton. It's clear that he's going to put it down the field no matter what kind of mark you put on him.
Not a bad call. Max Power now forced to go upwind. Here's a big gainer to Long. Long goes sideways to Wong. And here's a huge ripper by Chan. He likes them, but he just needs to think about it a tad longer before he releases that. He's got some guns on him, Bjorn.
Yeah, he's explaining himself to the rest of the field right now.
He reminds me of my younger self.
Your younger self was a 50-year-old Masters player.
Yes, yes.
I could see it.
So, unfortunately, a slightly wasted chance for a break by the Canadians. But here is a little contact on the grab. Defense getting very close on that catch, and I believe a foul will be called by Smith.
Yeah, Fizelle was guarding excellently. It looks like she's not contesting. While it was excellent defense, she just couldn't get to the disc without going through Smith, so she had no choice but to no contest there. So good spirit by herself and good defense at the same time. You can beat both.
I agree. Smith will keep the disc, passes it immediately to Pennington. Pennington goes to Zimmerman. And he wobbled the disc, so that will be a turnover. And here's an immediate response by Max, and just one pass away from another break, I believe, for the Canadians.
Denton there has shown a lot of sharp throws down both sidelines into that downwind end zone. That one held just as tight as his flick did earlier to Long.
We'll see a replay on your screen right now. Denton with a laser backhand for Harnett, making his brother Josh so proud.
Yeah, so that's a couple of scores in a row for Max Power. Endless Sunset really needs this downwinder at the moment.
Yeah, the Canadians jumping away by 3 at the moment. We're only 55 minutes into the game, which would normally be the time cap for half, but since the conditions have improved, we've seen a very different progress and development of the games. Earlier in the week, we were usually able to reach the time cap for half, but ever since the sun has made an appearance and the rain has gone elsewhere, huge forehand, curving, and a nice read by Brazelton, but still very tight defense from Max.
Yeah, and pretty good throw from, that was Brotman, who tossed that one. Not bad. I think we were talking about that American break. I think Brazelton might have been better served just to let his defender who was underneath him take a stab at it and then just catch it on the ground as it came down.
Easier said than done, but here's another turnover and Endless with a quick give and go for the score. That was Brotman with the assist to
Parker Pennington, I believe.
Oh yeah, Pennington. We've said it earlier, number 20, 6 goals, 5 assists so far. She adds another goal to her stats. Big stats leader for Endless Sunset.
Oh.
We'll see the replay.
Sorry, that was number 2, not number 20. That was Lee Adams.
Never mind us, Lee Adams. A member of the Adams family.
Another celebrity amongst us.
So Endless sticking close, 9-11 currently the score. We have loads of playing time in front of us. In the WFDF format at World's Championship, we usually play a 100-minute game, which is the case here in Limerick as well. 11 teams in the Grandmasters Mixed Division, out of which 5 are US teams, 4 Canadian teams, and then only 2 European teams out of UK and Germany. Chance enters the disc for Max.
See how aggressive Chan is. He elects to be conservative.
Pick call, a unison sound from the sideline, including the pumping hand signal. Disc gets tapped back in. Chan with one of his signature high release backhands, but a pick will not affect the play, and this will be a turnover.
And we have the always deadly Wheaton picking up.
Big chance for Endless to get one of the breaks they so much need in the second half. Here's a wobble on the disc, but they get it eventually. It's Cranbell back to Wheaton. Wheaton examines the options, will go for the big forehand. Now that's a visionary pass. Now they move the disc quickly. Big backhand fake. Hardy has it. Hardy with a forehand. Collected. And here's a big backhand for Wheaton. It sits perfectly, and here is a break for Endless Sunset. Excellent way to stay in the game. Great stuff from Wheaton, and awesome awareness on those throws. Lovely visionary throws in that last offensive possession by Endless.
Yeah, I don't think it can be stated how difficult that flick across the field is. That's directly into the wind, because as we said, it's coming at a cross at about a 45. So that was directly into the wind. A massive flick, maybe traveling 40 yards in the air, staying under control for their great receiver, Ryan Plant. And then Wheaton having the energy to go downfield after making that great throw and making a great catch from a great break throw.
And it seems that with this break, the teams are going to take another timeout, the first one in the second half, and we will also leave you with some highlights and a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to what could be the final part of this Grandmasters mixed game between Endless Sunset from the US and Max Power Canada. Behind the mic, Rachel Doshnerova with the lovely and only Bjorn Shea. Endless Sunset just scored a break, stealing one back from Max Power. Max Power still 2 breaks up. The conditions were pretty lovely so far, so to speak, in comparison to what these players have been through at the beginning of the week. Now we have the wind pick up a little more with some drizzle.
I see an ominous cloud directly to our left. It's going to make the next 20 minutes of this game a little bit different.
I am really hoping for Endless Sunset to make this a really tight game. So far in the power pool, they haven't had much luck. They have 4 losses to their record, while Max Power have 2 wins and 2 losses. And the only team that has been unbeaten in this power pool is Surly Great Masters Mixed. So still lots of spots to play for. The top 4 teams in this pool will go directly into the semis, I believe. I hope I'm reading that right. If you would prefer to check it out for yourself, please go to results.wfdf.sport/WMUCC. You will find results, stats, spirit scores, all that jazz, and you can do the research on your favorite players yourself. And here is a slightly short forehand OI from Max, and Endless with a super important chance to add another break.
Yeah, I think that helps to show how difficult the throw Wheaton made look easy was, because that was the same attempt that just got knocked down. So it shows the power between Wheaton's throws.
Here's a pass to the middle to Pennington. Pennington goes to Plant. Plant with a gainer to Brotman. And Brotman with a huge forehand into the end zone. Was that Wheaton?
It was Wheaton.
Wonderful. He's getting lots of love in the YouTube chat. Paul Wheaton is just killing it. Great job, buddy, says Joseph Alvarado. And also some praise coming from Kochenkov, saying, nice game for Grants. Could easily play against 90% of the teams from Masters Division. They will sure be glad to hear that. Keep the praise, keep the comments coming. We do try to look at them from time to time here in the commentary booth. And that's another break for Endless Sunset, sorry. Staying in this game, making it really exciting. Only 1 break away now to make the game slide back into their favor.
Yeah, this is a great answer. And as the wind picks up, it made that into the wind that much more significant. So let's see if Max Power can answer, and with the wind at their back.
We're tied at 11. The Americans prepare to pull. Kreinbill opts for the backhand. Chan with a backhand to the forehand side. He gets it for the up line. He will think about a deep shot. He does take it. And a pick will be called as more than one player make the run for the continuation. It seems like the stall count will be reset at 1. Chan examining downfield. And he does have a sort of open Denton, but it will be the cannot see offense who come down with it. That is Denton with a score. And an offensive hold for Max Power.
Looked like there might have been a call thinking about it, but no call at all, and a great catch by Denton, who's continuing to have a great game.
We have Marco Iskrik cheering on Max Power. He won Masters Gold with Max Power at CUC 2018. Great captain Chris Lote. We've seen some cool stuff from Lote on the pitch as well. A bit more rain coming down on pitch 1. The fields, however, still in pretty great condition for the amount of moisture they had to absorb.
Yeah, this field was given a break yesterday in order to dry off a little bit after 2 straight days of playing, and you're kind of rotating through some of the fields because that's how huge this complex is. Even with all these teams, there's extra fields in order to take a buffer.
Brotman will work with Hardy. Oh, and here's a wobble on the disc. It seems like a little bit of a miscommunication. And now Max Power with a chance for a break of their own. Smith picks up, and another wobble, returns the disc back to the Americans. They think about picking up the disc quickly, but decide against it to calm things down. Here is Šipek looking for the up line. She has it, but goes to the break side to Wheaton instead. Wheaton thinks about the deep shot and goes for a nice, quick forehand, gaining lots of yards for Sunset. And this will be just out of reach. I feel like Scholten wasn't sure if that disc was actually intended for her, sort of looking behind herself, seeing if there was anyone else, but it was just the Max Power defender. Smith takes the disc from the sideline. With a nice upline cut and a great read and a timeout called by Cauley.
Cauley not taking for granted his great catch and calls a quick timeout. Looks like he might have strained something on that catch too. Needs a little break.
I think he got stepped on the landing there. Both players getting high to get that disc. But this could be a pivotal moment as we're nearing the hard cap. Let's see that again on the replay. Good grab, but the players sort of trip over each other. But like I said, this could be a pivotal point if Max Power can get another break so late in the game. The hard cap being 15. We're going to take a little break here as the teams collect and recollect themselves in their team huddles. We're back after the timeout. Max Power with a chance to break late in the game after earning the disc with a high grab. They finally get it off down the sideline to Prue. And here's a call on the field, but it will not change the high disc that sailed over the head of the intended receiver. And Endless go the other way. Oh, here's a nice defensive effort. Endless fake the big throw. Don't take it, go to the far sideline instead. Nice layout grab. Here's Wheaton again. Puts up a big forehand. Great layout grab. Excellent control. And here is another big one for the end zone. Defense and offense is underneath. And that is Smith who got a hand on that first. It seems like they're both down. Hopefully nothing too serious. Let's see that on the replay. They get up high. Smith gets that first. And then a collision in the air might have made it difficult to land properly. But it seems like both players have now picked up from the ground and seem okay. Now, that is a bit unfortunate, Bjorn, I think, because that was a really nice put from Wheaton to the far sideline, and then the continuation was, I think, not ideal. Not enough curve on that disc to go around Smith, so he will now pick up from his own end zone line. Tries to break it directly into the middle, but they lose it just shy of their own end zone.
I don't think his dump was looking, and he kind of threw it no look to be sneaky about it.
That is the danger and risk of no look throws. So Endless Sunset with a short field to go. They go backwards to get a bit more space downfield. They fake the high release backhand, don't take it. Now they get a nice gainer, and Wheaton into the end zone for, I believe it might have been Brotman.
Yeah, I believe you're right. And Wheaton just showing that I think the other team clearly figured out that he's the guy they need to stop, so they're trying to push him downfield. But they're pushing him downfield, and it shows that even he can run around and hustle quite a bit too. And he's actually getting open on some pretty long cuts, which is quite admirable.
So an excellent layout by Scholten. Here's the other great layout. And here's the forehand to Wheaton, and he finds his teammate almost immediately. Great quick action in front of the end zone. We're tied at 12. Endless still one break down. I really hope this gets to Universe.
Well, you're such a fan of astronomy. I can see why.
Thank you for the engagement in the comments. We are streaming on the WFDF YouTube channel for free all week long. There's more actions coming your way from two fields, actually, here at the University of Limerick. We're getting into bracket slowly but surely with some crossover games already this afternoon. But before we get there, the power pole games must be played out also in this Grand Masters mixed division. Max Power with some high dignity. Okay, he's sped up now.
This is Denton with the disc. And Denton, who's shown to have very, very flat, smooth throws in this weather.
Chanton with a high release to Ketchison. Ketchison goes to Fizel. Fizel continues to Welsh. And now Denton has it again. Denton with a huge forehand, but it will be too high for Wong. Cassie Wong.
I think Cassie was spending a little too much time looking at the disc instead of just running with it, and couldn't decide if she was going to have to jump or if she should just keep running, and in that case, always just keep running.
It was a difficult disc to read in a sense that it wasn't really curving towards her, it was more going straight over her head. But here's the chance Endless have been waiting for in terms of breaks. Here's a big, big forehand curving, but defender gets a hand on it, but you have to catch your Ds. Here is Syme right in front of the end zone, and he will take a timeout. What a veteran move. We've seen one just like that on the other side from the Canadians. Really fun game to watch. I think that last D was punished so badly by that second chance grab. And Endless will try to retake the lead right after this timeout. Welcome back after the timeout. We are in a pivotal point of this Grandmasters mixed game between Endless Sunset and Max Power. Max Power going up a few breaks, but Endless Sunset managing to get back and tie at 12. And now with a chance to regain the lead late in this game. They pick up the disc right in front of the end zone. Syme goes backwards. They fake the backhand. That is Toma. Toma goes all the way to the sideline. And here is a score! Excellent girl action. That was Jackie Herr going to Lisa Marin. And that's a break for Endless Sunset. And what could potentially be quite a big upset in this power pole play.
Yeah, it was a great point. I mean, most punctuated by the miss D and the good following catch, but then a great end zone set. It's you know, a lot of these teams haven't been great out of timeouts that I've seen, especially the conditions don't help, but you know, to actually have a plan that they've clearly formulated in the timeout and run it to perfection is refreshing to see.
I absolutely love a girl point in the mixed division, and that is just what Herr and Marin got us. Herr, 37 years of age, also a teacher, so we have lots of teachers on both sides coming out of Illinois. Tremont, currently the city, I've already said that. So let's have a look at Lisa Marin. She is 37 years of age. Her career highlight is being able to return to competitive ultimate after having 4 kids, which is incredibly impressive. So we're saying hi to Annabelle, Theresa, Emma, and James. Also husband Chris. I find it personally absolutely incredible that some of these athletes are able to perform on the field as well as off the field with the double duty, taking care of their kids. Here's Max Power going to Smith on the near sideline.
Yeah, I got 1 dog and I haven't been able to return to Ultimate, so I don't know how they've done it.
Now Denton has it, but a pick call will stop the play. The Canadians spreading pretty deep into their own half of the field with a vert stick set up and a one handler in the reset position, level with the thrower. This goes to Long. Long's been excellent for Max Power downfield. Denton has it again for the up line. Wong now on the sideline. Oh, sorry, Lou. Lou wants the up line, gets it to Denton. He's got Smith. Can he get it around to him? Yes, he can, but that's a wobble on the catch. That is unfortunate for Max, and I think Endless will look into trying to get it into the end zone as soon as possible. They are going downwind after all, and after regaining the lead, they might afford to take a bit more risk.
That was one of the first mistakes I saw Fenton make. He threw it a little low going into the end zone, but he's been so good throwing up the lines up until that point.
Endless struggling a little bit to get out of that coffin corner. I believe that was a foul called by Brotman on that upline cut. Lots of tight match defense from Max Power. The foul will be uncontested and hugs are exchanged. This gets back, tapped back in, and here is a big forehand. 2 players underneath. Neither one can get there, but it will just return the disc to the hands of Denton.
Yeah, that was an impressive bid by Plant. Who has shown great athleticism, but it was coming in too hot, just skipped off of him.
But it seems like there will be a little discussion regarding a foul call on the throw. So the disc might return to the ladies in the lovely hangout spot called the Coffin Corner. The players do have game advisors at their disposal on the sideline. The game advisors are nothing like observers. I would like to point out they're simply there to offer perspective if asked for it. They can also help you with the interpretation of rules and making sure that you know what they are. Here is a big forehand, but that is curving very far from the intended receiver, but on the other hand sets up Endless Sunset with a very good position, and the Canadians have a whole field to go. Here is a high release backhand collected beautifully by Smith.
Yeah, way to get up by Smith.
Excellent defensive effort. Here is a high disc curving out of the end zone, That was a very difficult read. I liked number 13 from Endless getting in the way. She now gets the disc in the middle, and pick call will stop the play. The Sun now helping to ensure that the Sunny Sunny Limerick description of this tournament is proven a little bit true. Here's a high disc, but the receiver gets there on time. Here's Wheaton with a huge backhand ripper. There is 2 players underneath. Great read by Stallman.
With the classic American break, as you talked about, over the defender's head.
And here's a second break from Endless. Incredible. They go up 14-12 over Max Power. That is incredible effort by Endless. Look at that celebration. So many hugs. They seem like they did not even expect this, but they will surely take it.
Absolutely. That's you got to think a team like Endless Sunset uses the sun to power them. And, sun came out just at the right time. Is the wind in their sails for that beautiful huck down the field.
That was an excellent pop in the end zone. Stallman, 41 years of age. Current city is Webster, North Carolina. She's in health communication, right-handed, and she says she started playing because it was a fun way to play outside on a beautiful day, and that is just what she's doing here today. She volunteers at local tournaments and in the local organizations. She has a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old daughter, Annadelle and Elizabeth, and we're also going to say hi to her husband Rob and her parents Steve and Beth, who are surely watching her great performance and are very proud that she could be part of that last break for Endless, which might, but might not, decide this game. So a potential game point on our hands if Endless can add one more break. Here's Smith for Max Power though. Chance streaking up line, but it is Denton who gets it. Denton with a big backhand to Wong. She gets it beautifully, and here is Chan, who is usually on the throwing end, but he can do a good job in the end zone as well. Max Power staying alive in this power pole game, but they will need to work that much harder to actually surpass Endless and take this game to Universe.
Yeah, Chan doing his best Wheaton impression. The thrower who ended up going downfield and shows he has some legs on him too. Pretty quick way to run that down.
We'll have a replay on that nice backhand. An even greater catch from Wong. Sorry, that was Liu. Oh no, Liu. Liu to Chan.
Yeah, Liu has some great touch. She's shown some great throws today. It reminded the game you and I did yesterday in that awful wind. There was a player for Singapore, Liu, who was one of the only people who could actually throw in the wind. And so
right.
I feel like I'm watching her again. Another Liu with great throws and great hands.
So I apologize to both Cassie Wong and Janice Liu. They both have those tall, lean figures, dark hair with ponytails, and they both do a great job on the field. So here's Endless with a chance to bring this game home. Smith with a high release backhand. Luckily, it's read by Shipek.
Woof. Smith holding her breath the whole time that was in the air.
I think there will be a little discussion regarding the contact underneath the disc. It was a bit of a hospital pass, a gust of wind really taking that one away. Game advisors will not get involved unless the players ask them to. It seems like a contested foul so far by the hand signals. The final decision, of course, resting with the players at all WFDF sanctioned events. Shipek will keep the disc, it seems like. She loves Latin dancing and played soccer in college. Let's see if she can do a little shimmy. on this potential game point. She's looking for the reset. She gets it off to Brotman. Brotman back to Shipik. There's a nice upline cut. Great secure catch by Brotman. One-handed grab. And now we've got Wheaton. Wheaton will look for the big forehand. Doesn't take it though.
Yeah, he had Schulten alone.
Huge fakes thrown. And here is the layout grab in the end zone, but just out of reach of Brotman. Wheaton looked at him multiple times. He had several targets in the end zone, but it took him a little while to get around his mark. Props to whoever was marking him in that point. That was great marking. There were lots of fakes and shimmies thrown. And now Max Power will work upwind to stay alive.
Yep, if they don't get into the wind here, the game is over, so see what they can do.
Centering to Welsh. Welsh goes to Prue. Prue with a lefty backhand. Disc returned immediately to the middle. Lote looking for options. Finds Lou. Lou back to Lote. Lote will take a reset this time. Big fake upline, nothing there. Welsh. Spicy forehand, but it will go to the ground. There was a wide open receiver, but that throw proving a bit more difficult going upwind, and it gets pushed down to the ground. Brotman goes to Schulten. Schulten centers. And again, a mistake on the last pass. That is unfortunate. A drop by Toma.
Just an unbelievable break by Wheaton. Perfectly curved, played the wind right, hit the receiver in the stomach.
Great safe catch by Lou. The Canadians go the other way. That's Thompson on the disc now. He goes backwards to Lote. Probably a founder, but definitely a captain of this Canadian Max Power team. And here is a bit of contact on the throw. Hard to say who was moving in which direction first. The players do also have a chance to check out the replay on our screens if they decide to do so. So far it seems like they will talk it out instead. No call. Thompson will go to Lote. Lote now throwing in every direction upwind. Here's a big frake from Welsh. A pick call will stop the play.
You saw there the dump defender called the pick on the thrower because you can get picked by any player on the field.
Welsh looking for his reset. He gets the upline to Lote, but the disc is floating and it will float out of bounds. Another chance for Endless Sunset to bring this game home. Who else to pick up by Brotman? He goes for the upline cut. His receiver is there, and they have a wide open person in the end zone. No, they will take it easy. That is Toma. Toma goes back to Brotman. Brotman just on the doorstep. Which option is he going to say? Smith is not open. He will go backwards to Toma. Toma tries to go for the around, gets it eventually, and here's the high pop into the end zone for Wheaton, and Endless Sunset take the game with a grand fashion, 15-13 over Max Power, adding the first victory in the power poll to their records. Canadians go down in disappointment, but they put up a great performance. Bjorn, what a game.
That was an incredible punch for punch, and Inlet Sunset got a little behind and then swung back with some big haymakers to get back in front. And that was definitely the best game I've watched in person all tournament long. Really, really fortunate to have seen it. Some incredible plays. Lou for the female matching player on Max Power was incredible, as was Denton for them. And you got to say that Wheaton absolutely stole the show on the side for the USA.
There was some really good defense on him, getting high, stretching out into the air, but Wheaton really making sure he keeps his eyes on the disc. With 10 minutes game time left, we will be done early here in the pool play for the Masters, Grandmasters mixed division.
Grandmasters mixed, yep. What a game.
Thank you so much for engaging with us in the comments. Please do tune in for some further action coming up later on this stream. We're streaming 2 fields here from Limerick. We have what am I? Yes, we have the 1 o'clock slot, Masters Women, Calypso Masters from Colombia taking on Jinx from Germany. And from the other field, we have the Italian B-Fire versus Pie Wagon out of Australia. And many more games to come. Please note that this stream is copyrighted by the World Flying Disc Federation. Thank you very much for watching. I was Rachel Toshnova together with Bjorn Shea. See you on the other side.
Goodbye.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing here.
Can Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlicker Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo! If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV. Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top Ulti TV, ställe eroginkime, Ultimate Vendromena. Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone, follow Alti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love free speech. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Alti TV.
Became member of Alti.tv.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe, Alti.tv, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience.
And our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just 1 elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future, and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Alti.tv.
So he's just doing reps of 400 at 67.75. I mean, in 1 800 at 2, like
getting incredible. And now he's in the pool down there.